I'm Mantha.
This is Rosemary.
We're going to show you how we make chicken bone broth. It's a very simple process. Got everything set up here. 3 stalks of celery, 3 carrots, 1 onion, a bunch of thyme. This is lemon thyme. That happens to be my favorite. A whole chicken. Neck is good. Giblets, heart, gizzard, those are great too. I also have chicken feet here, which are a fantastic addition. They add more gelatin to the broth. If you can get your hands on the head too, that's also awesome. And parsley, a nice beautiful bunch of fresh parsley. We also have some apple cider vinegar and peppercorns. That's everything that's required besides water. I have about 6 quarts of water in this big stock kettle. So we're gonna start with the 6 quarts of water, add 3 stalks of celery. I've just cut the ends off and cut them in half. Throw those in the pot. I have 1 whole onion I cut into quarters. So we got 1, 2, 3, 4 quarters. 3 beautiful carrots. Look at these rainbow carrots. I just cut them up into 3 sections. Now we want our bunch of thyme. We're gonna throw the whole thing in there. Our chicken feet. Here we go. The whole body of the chicken. At this time, the head, the gizzards, any of that, the neck is also great. And now I'm going to wash my hand. Okay, we got the whole chicken in there. We want just about 2 tablespoons of raw apple cider vinegar with the mother in it. Just kind of guesstimate. You can measure it out if you like. Half a dozen peppercorns, or a dozen, whatever you like. That's everything. Now, the parsley gets saved until the end. That gets put in the last 10 minutes of cooking. Then all the enzymes are nice and active and it yields this wonderful bright flavor, which we love. So we're gonna save that to the end. We have all of our veggies, our vinegar, our chicken all in the pot with the water. I like to let that sit for about 30 minutes before I turn the burner on. So after about 30 minutes, I'm gonna put this on the burner. And I usually start it out at about 3 on my burner just to kind of get everything warmed up. But then eventually I have to turn my burner down to lower than low. As low as it'll go, but still be on. I don't want it to boil, but I want it to still be moving stuff around and to be really, really hot. I leave it for about a day and a half. That's my favorite. You can eat it in between that too while it's cooking. We like to dip out of it. After it's been cooking for a few hours, you definitely can do that. But then again, 10 minutes before you're going to shut off the burner, just add your parsley, put the lid back on, and one more thing. There is a process of skimming the fat. Now, after this heats up and it starts to cook a little bit, there's gonna be fat that rises to the top. If there's foam, sometimes foam will rise to the top first. Doesn't happen as frequently for me with chicken versus beef or lamb even, but if there's foam that rises to the top, those are considered impurities. You can scoop those off, throw it away, put it down the drain, whatever you're gonna do with it. Now when the fat rises to the top, you want to skim that off. I do it probably about 3 times over the course of the first like 18 hours, I would say. And that usually gets rid of it all. I skim the fat off and I put it in a jar. And it'll separate from some of the broth that comes off with it. I use that fat for cooking potatoes, cooking all sorts of things. It's a lovely, nourishing fat to use for even higher temperatures. We love it. We love bone broth. It's a part of our lives all the time. Any extras that we have, because this yields about a gallon, I would say. A gallon of broth it would yield, bone broth. So this is some we had frozen. We like to freeze it in ice cube trays, the abundance that we can't use in the first couple weeks. We put it in ice cube trays, put it in plastic baggies in the freezer. So I just heated some up today because we had a relatively cool day in the middle of the summer today, and we wanted some bone broth. But this is probably 2/3 bone broth, 1/3 water. And when I heat it up for myself, that's when I add salt. I like to add Celtic salt when I'm about to drink it. I like things salty, we both do, so we put about half a teaspoon of Celtic salt in this much broth, and it's perfect for us. So yeah, very simple, but very nourishing and a staple in our home. And it's great for bases of other recipes that call for chicken broth, gravies, soups. Those are two of the main things that we use it for, that we love it for. So it's gonna have a really great flavor, especially the herbs that you put in it. Rosemary is also a lovely addition. If I don't have time, I get rosemary. Yeah, those are great. You can also use dried herbs. I just think that the fresh ones, if they're available, why not? And it might even bring a little bit more of a bright flavor than the dried. But whatever you have, that's what's up. Yay! You want some broth, sweetie? Not right now. She had a bunch today already. All right. Sending our love. Aloha.